see every single week when I visit patients in assisted living facilities. Not the people who need round-the-clock care, not the people who can't manage their medications or who need help with every meal. I'm talking about the people who move there just to be safe. They can walk, they can dress themselves, they can think clearly, they have Parkinson's, yes, but they're not at the stage where they need someone watching 24/7. And yet, there they are. She doesn't need help, then moved anyway. And I keep asking myself the same question. What did they actually get in return? But let's start with what the facility provides. A place to live, free meals a day, medication management if they need it, an emergency button, staff available if something goes wrong, activities. There's always an activities calendar. Painting on Tuesdays, trivia on Thursdays, music therapy Fridays, exercise class, movie nights, guest speakers. On paper, it sounds good. It sounds like community, like structure, like safety. They promised community. What actually arrived instead was something very different. And for some people who truly can't manage at home anymore, it is necessary. It's life-saving. But for the people I'm talking about, the ones who could still be at home with support, I'm not convinced they're getting what they think they're getting. Because here's the big one. The reason most families make this move. Safety. You guessed it. Safety. Mom won't fall there because it's safe. She has 24/7 care. Someone will be there if something happens. We chose the safest place, and she fell anyway. And I need to be really clear about this. Mom is still going to fall. A facility doesn't prevent falls. It might be someone gets there quicker after she falls. But the falls themselves, that's still going to happen. Because here's what 24/7 care actually means. It doesn't mean someone is hovering around her all day. It means there's staff in the building. It means there's a call button. But if she's in her room, where most falls happen, she's alone. Staff everywhere. And then she fell when nobody was looking. Falls don't usually happen in public spaces. They don't happen in the dining room while everybody's watching. They don't happen in the hallway on the way to activities. And most people aren't going to activities anyway. Falls happen in transition. Sitting to standing, standing to walker, walker to wheelchair, getting out of bed, getting onto the toilet, getting into the shower. Those transitions happen in her room, alone, unwitnessed. Yes, falls can happen in the dining room. Transitioning from the walker to the chair, or back to the walker after the meal. And yes, staff might be nearby. But here's the thing. When people are being watched, they tend to be more careful. She knows every rule, but when alone, she takes shortcuts. It's not that Mom doesn't know the rules. She knows she's supposed to use her walker. She knows she's supposed to call for help. She knows she's supposed to take her time. She just doesn't follow them when nobody's looking. Because people get careless when they're alone. They take shortcuts. They think, I can make it to the bathroom without my walker. They rush. They forget. And that's when they fall. So to the assisted living facility didn't make her safer. It just changed the location of the risk. So if safety isn't guaranteed, what did they actually trade? Their home? The place where they raised their kids? Where they cooked? Thanksgiving dinner? Where their stuff is? Where their routines lived? They kept the photos. Then everything else disappeared. Yes, they brought some furniture, some photos, a chair, but it's not the same. It's a room, not a home. Their kitchen. And I know, some people hate cooking. They would have been happy to never cook again. But here's the thing. They had options. They could have ordered delivery. They could have hired someone to meal prep. They could have had family member bring food. They had choice. Now, there's a menu. And yes, there are options on the menu, but people like what they like. After 70 years of eating a certain way, of having coffee at 6 a.m., of eating dinner at 5 p.m., of having their sandwich cut a specific way, a rotating facility menu looks like a loss of control. Fed every meal, but still starving for something they can't name. And I hear about it. My patients complain about the food constantly. Not because it's bad, but because it's not theirs. Their schedule. When you live at home, you decide when you wake up, when you eat, when you shower, when you go to bed. In a facility, there are meal times, medication times, activity times. It's structured. And for some people, structure is helpful. But for others, it's suffocating. And here's the big one. Their family dynamic. The family paradox. This is the part nobody talks about. The family visits. That's less after the move. Moved closer to family. Then they stopped coming as much. Not because they don't care, not because they're relieved to be off the hook, but because the visit itself changes. When somebody lives at home, the family can come over, bring the grandkids, let them run around, stay for dinner, sleep over if needed. It's fluid. It's life. When someone lives in a facility, the visit becomes transactional. You walk into a lobby, you sign in, you go to their room, or you sit in a common area with other residents and staff walking by. You can't really talk about anything private. You can't stay for dinner because you're not on the meal plan. You can't bring the grandkids and let them play because there are other residents who might get confused or agitated. So the visit becomes 30 minutes, maybe an hour, a walk down the hallway, some small talk, then everybody leaves. Never missed a visit, but connection disappeared when the environment changed. And the person living there, they feel it. They feel the distance. They feel like they've been placed somewhere, like they're being stored. And I'm not saying the family is doing anything wrong. They're not. They're trying. But the environment makes connection harder, not easier.